First off, Jen, do you want to introduce yourself and your territory now?
So I'm Jen, and my territory is Bronya in Melbourne.
And how long have you been in business for?
Be going on 8 months now.
8 months. So that's
8 months.
yeah. How are you finding it? 8 months is a good time. You've just been in it for long enough, but yeah.
I absolutely love it.
Mm.
It's something I've always wanted to do. Never thought it was feasible, but I kind of just jumped in with both feet and took off, and it's taken off, and I couldn't be happier.
And why didn't you think it was feasible originally?
I wasn't working last year. I had some issues. I was on work cover for 12
Yep.
months. Wasn't feasible to go back to my old job. Working with animals, especially dogs, is something I always wanted to do. And me and my husband sat down one day, and it was actually his idea, it wasn't mine. And I looked online, found gyms, and made an inquiry, and got a phone call from Sharon that night, and just went with it.
Mm. And how'd you find the training? So you said you had a passion for dogs, which is fantastic. So how did you have like any prior skills in regards, or you just knew you wanted to work with animals?
I literally had nothing. I was a clean slate, which I think was a good thing, mainly because I wasn't coming in with any bad habits that I'd learned from somewhere else. The training was fantastic. Being out on the road for the practical training and making money while you're training, you can't ask for anything else, really. It's better than, I found it better for me personally than sitting in a classroom learning how to do this and do that. I'd rather be out on the road one-on-one with someone, then at least you've got that person's full attention. You can ask whatever questions. You know, people say there's no stupid questions, and they're right. There are no stupid questions, especially when you're learning a new skill from scratch.
And how long was the training in total? Was it something you obviously still do as well, I would say, with different
Yeah,
dog breeds and stuff?
yeah, the on-road training was 2 weeks, I believe. But even after training, I even now, I still text my trainer if I have a question, if I'm not sure, if I've come across something I've never done before. And she's always happy to take my phone call, and she's even come out to where I am. Some of the other girls, when I first started, when I was having trouble, they came out to help me. And now I'm more than happy to do the same thing with some of the new girls. If they're around and I'm not busy, I'm more than happy to go out and help them.
Now, how big is your business? How big is your business currently? Like before the lockdown, how many regulars were you doing?
Look, since the start, I've been working a solid 6 days a week. And I tried to send out, when all this happened, I tried to send out a mass text, and I couldn't fit in all the numbers in two texts. That's how many regular clients I have. So
Which is a lot.
There's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm still getting messages now. When are you coming back? When are you out on the road? And I'm getting video messages from my clients saying my dog's getting desperate and showing me how bad the dogs look at the moment.
We interviewed Sue Martin before, and she said a very similar thing to what you just said then, which I find is really, really good about gyms and different with our franchisees, is that you had a lot of clients who were texting videos and saying, like, it's more than just a transactional relationship, isn't it? You do have
100%. You develop relationships with these people. I mean, if a lot of people are like myself, dogs aren't just pets, they're part of the family. You're looking after one of their family members. So you're not just building relationships and bonds with the animals, you're building relationships and bonds with the owners as well.
And how many dogs dogs do you have? How many dogs do you have?
Look, a day I could do between sort of 4 and 8. I don't find the need to be able to have to sort of run myself into the ground every day. On weekly, again, depending on how many I do a day, I could do anywhere between sort of 40 and 60 dogs a week.
It's a large number, bro. Yeah.
It is. It's a large number. And people coming in, like I take people out on trial days and stuff like that. And that's the one question that everyone asks. How many do you do a day? Is the work available? And I had the same question when I started. And the work is 100% there for everybody. And it seems the more franchisees that are out there, the more work is generated.
See, well, then you got more mobile billboards on the road, driving around
100%,
full
yeah.
time.
Absolutely. Yeah, I very rarely take my trailer off my car, even when I'm not working, because it's free advertisement.
Now, for customers, just watching this, in regards to intervals, like I have no idea. Girlfriend's got a dog, but I don't. So I'm just trying to think, what's the intervals? Like I know it might be a very hard question depending on fur coats and like length of coats and stuff. But what's the like typical intervals for the dogs? So
it depends on what you're doing. If you're just doing a wash on a dog, say you've got a Labrador, obviously you're not going to shave a Labrador. I've got a couple regulars. There's one I do, which is just around the corner from me, which is really convenient. I do him once every 3 weeks. But on a normal sort of customer, someone who doesn't say to me, this is exactly how often I want it done, and they ask me, I would say usually between either 4 to 6 or 6 to 8 weeks. You don't want to wash a dog too regularly, because then you're going to wash out, it's like your own hair. You're going to wash out all those natural oils, and you're going to make the coat really dry, which obviously that they don't want. Cutting, on the other hand, again, unless you've got someone who likes, I mean, there's one customer I have who has a big dog who likes to have him shaved and likes to keep him really, really short. I do him every 4 weeks. Others, it's usually around a 6 to 8 week mark.
And as you said, you do anywhere from 4 to 8 in that week, that slot. So maybe every 6 weeks, that's your sort of like your client slot there, and then you sort of just shift it over. Yeah.
And then I always send out a reminder text the day before I come. And if there's any issues, then we can always shift it a week or 2 weeks, or someone will message me and say, oh, you know, when so-and-so due, can we push it back a week, or whatever it may be. You know, one of my golden retrievers, so obviously a light coloured dog, I'd washed him 2 weeks prior before she messaged me, and the dog got into a big mud pit, so I had to go around there the next day and clean him up for her. So, yeah.
And how do you deal with, let's say, more timid dogs, or some dogs that might be a bit more scared? What's your process for that?
So I do have one that's like that. I have a bull terrier that I do once every 4 weeks. I do him a little bit more regular because of that reason. He was badly treated with his previous owner. He got tortured with a hose, which makes it difficult for me because I wash with a hose. I always make him my last job of the day. That way I've got time, I can sit with him. It's about building trust. He's got to trust me, and I've got to trust him. I mean, I hate to say it, but yes, that breed of dog has a stigma around it as being aggressive. This dog would not hurt a fly. So there's usually, when I see him, I'll sit with him in the trailer for the first 10 minutes and just let him sniff around, let him come to me. You've got to build trust with these dogs, else they're not going to trust you. You're going to have a hard time every single time. And I've got him to the point where I can now bath him with the hose. Before, the first couple of times, I've got a 1 litre, those plastic 1 litre sauce bottles that I've got in my trailer. I had to use those to bath him, but he's got to the point now that I can bath him with the hose. He doesn't take the dryer at all. I think mainly because of how loud they are. You're right. How loud the dryer can be. But the owner is well aware of that, and I just do him a good towel dry. And I mean, most people will know what their dog's like, and it's just a matter of spending time with that dog and, like I said, building trust.
Because the question I was going to ask is, I've seen it online a bit with dog washes. A lot of people will say, oh, my dog is really difficult, or can you deal with, maybe difficult to work with dogs? So you've got a process in place, don't you, how you do that? Most of our franchisees
Absolutely. You've got to take it dog by dog. I mean, majority of my dogs now, my regulars, they know me. They see the red trailer, they see me, they know what's going on. Sometimes they'll push back, others they'll just kind of accept their fate and deal with it. But like I said, you've got to take it dog by dog. If a new customer comes to me and says, my dog might get a little nippy, might bite, might do this, might do that, you've just got to sort of go in there with an open mind. Sometimes you've got to show the dog who's boss in a nice way. Like if I have a dog that's kind of not behaving and being difficult, there's a tone of voice that you can use where you can show the dog who's boss, but then you've got to praise the dog when they do the right thing. So not be harsh with it, but show them who's boss. Show them that you're there to do a job and you're there to do what the dog needs.
Mm.
And then when they comply with you, for lack of a better word, you've got to praise that dog. But there are dogs that just won't have it whatsoever, and you've got to sort of know when to pull the plug and when to persevere. Sometimes you have to pull the plug. Sometimes you have to say to the customer, sorry, this dog's just not, I can't do it. And you've either got to take it to a salon where they've got more hands, because we're there by ourselves. We've only got 2 hands. We can only do so much. Where in a salon, they've got more people. They've got more hands there to help. Or in some other cases, they have to go to a vet, and some even have to be sedated, even when it's just cutting nails. So you've really got to take it job by job. There was a dog that I did, a big dog. It wasn't a Newfoundland. It was similar to a Newfoundland. I can't remember the name of the breed. So it was a big dog. I was told by the owner that she was aggressive. Even if an owner says to me the dog's aggressive, I'll still come anyway, mainly because of this dog. So I took the dog, and the dog came running for me, and he got worried, but she did nothing. She just sniffed me. She did nothing. We did have a muzzle on her the entire time, but she never growled at me. She never tried to corner me, anything. She was perfect, but yet the owner told me that she was aggressive. I did think of taking the muzzle off, and I thought, no, don't tempt fate, don't do that, just in case. But there are other dogs. I mean, I've been bailed up in my trailer by a big German Shepherd, but it doesn't deter me to go back and see that dog. That dog's now a regular of mine, and I go back and see him, even if he bails me up. I don't care. You know, unfortunately, we deal with animals that have sharp teeth. It's part of the job. You just deal with it.
So the key point there you're saying is you take your time to assess each dog and build it up. And if you can't do it, as you said, you're honest enough with the client to say, look, I can't do it. What's not in the best interest of the animal, which is an important point.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. You've got the welfare of the dog has to come first. Yes, the owner may be upset or might get angry, but I'm not going to put an animal in distress just because the owner wants it done there and then. It's not right for the dog.
Which is a good point to make. And do you do anything else but dogs? I know some franchisees do guinea pigs. I've heard of horses and things like that. Do you do anything else?
I'm open to pretty much anything but cats.
Cats. I've heard cats are very hard.
To put it really bluntly, I have a lot of tattoos. I paid a lot of money for my skin, and I'm not going to have it scratched off by a cat. So, cats are where I draw the line. But look, I've never been asked to do it. I've been asked to do cats, and I've said no. But I haven't been asked to do any other animals. But I'd be open to it, absolutely.
Now, in the period of lockdown, obviously we're a bit over halfway now. What have you been doing to keep yourself occupied? I know maybe a few people originally, when it comes and go, the first couple of days is nice and relaxing, and after that they go a bit crazy, don't know what to do. So what have you been doing to keep yourself occupied in the time? So
that's pretty much what I did the first couple of days. So our first day off completely was a Thursday. So from Thursday to Sunday, I literally did nothing. I just lounged around the house, relaxed, didn't do a whole lot. The next week one day I spent 3 hours in my trailer just pulling everything apart, cleaning it from top to bottom. I mean, my trailer was clean, but it can always be cleaner. Yep. Like I pulled my dryer apart, cleaned it all out, and spent a good 3 hours in there doing that. I've been trying to keep in contact with my clients, just giving them updates and posting on my Facebook page, just say, yeah, I'm still here, type of thing. And other than that, I've got my daughter here. She's homeschooling, so I've been helping her out and just sort of pottering around the house, doing bits and pieces, just trying to keep myself occupied and motivated. And I think the one thing that you've got to try and keep yourself motivated, or you're just going to sort of get unmotivated and just sit on the couch and do nothing. You've got to get up. You've got to get dressed every day. Taking the dog for a walk. Pretty much the same thing everyone else is doing, pretty much. Now, do you find having an interaction with clients during this time helps you keep motivated on your business? Absolutely. You've got to sort of keep yourself in their minds, and still keep in touch with them, even if they've been with you since the start. Some people don't always look at their dogs and think, got to get them groomed, got to get them groomed. But if you keep yourself in your customers' minds, then, you're not going to lose them when we come back.
Absolutely. And are you finding I've heard some people taking already pre-bookings, or are booking up already for, let's say, that September 13 days. Is that something you've been doing?
Yeah, I'm not as of yet,
Yeah.
only because I jumped the gun a little bit. When it first all started that we were going to be locked down, we were given, but the advice was there that we could still work at the very beginning. We were given the choice whether we wanted to work or not. And I decided for my own safety that I was going to take 3 weeks. So I went through my diary for 3 weeks and rescheduled everyone for 3 weeks. And then a couple of days later, it was no, we had to be out for the 6 weeks. So I don't want to make that mistake again and have to go around and call everybody for a third time and say, sorry, I have to push it back again. So I basically said to all my customers, when we get a date for the okay that we can 100% come back, I will call everybody personally, one by one, the week before we're allowed back, and book everyone in then.
Makes sense, yeah, because it's a bit hard, isn't it? They might say, they say September 13, but as you know, it can your best laid plans often go away.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could say one day and then the next day it could be, we've got to be down for another 2 weeks or whatever it may be. So I'd rather just wait until we get the 100%.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And what about other franchisees? Have you been talking to other franchisees in the region, or what are you guys doing from a meetings perspective? I've heard you guys like to use Zoom a lot and do various activities over Zoom.
Yeah, we've got a WhatsApp group. So all Rachel's franchisees, so Rachel's my franchisor. So all of her franchisees were on a WhatsApp group and we talk daily. There's always a conversation going on, whether it may be business stuff or personal stuff or whatever it may be. We had a Zoom meeting not last Thursday, the Thursday before I think it was, and we played bingo. It was just a Zoom party basically. We've got another one coming up on Wednesday. So we're all trying to stay in contact and just sort of make sure everyone's okay and everyone's doing all right.
Yeah, I've heard a buddying system for interstate. Is that something you're a part
I
of?
think some of the interstate franchisees did come in on our bingo night. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did, but don't hold me to that.
Now, what dog do you have at home? You mentioned you have a dog.
I have a Jack Russell.
Yep.
She's around somewhere. She's probably sleeping as she does.
Now,
I do want a big dog though. I do prefer, like, on a personal note, I do prefer the big dogs. I personally want a Newfoundland. My husband's not letting me have one, but I will have one.
A Newfoundland. Yes, we got a video online with you and the Burmese. Was it Odin?
Odin, yes.
Yes.
He's beautiful.
Yeah. Yes, and how about some tips and tricks for customers? So customers might, like, let's say if you've got a dog as a customer, you might not have too much knowledge beyond, what is involved with grooming. Is there anything for customers to consider when it comes to grooming their dog? I know there's all different types and breeds, but is there any general advice you can give?
All I can say is brush your dog, especially now. The more you brush it, then you're not going to come over, like, I'm not going to come when we're back and I'm not going to be lumped with a bunch of matted dogs. The more you brush, the more you're going to alleviate any mats. Mats are terrible, especially when they get right down to the skin, because then no matter what you want done with your dog, I'm going to have to shave it. Mats can do a lot of damage to their skin, and you don't want that. So
how long should they be brushing? Someone should brushing for? I guess it depends on the coat and all that sort of stuff.
It does. It depends on the coat, depends on the dog, depends on the size of the dog. If you just got a little Maltese, just do a once over. Just a once over every day. It's fine. If you've got a bigger double coated breed, then yeah, you've got to sit there for a bit longer. But I mean, what's everyone else doing at the moment? People are at home. You've got all day, every day to sit there for 10 minutes and brush your dog, really. So
now if a dog is like, say if it's better brushed and actually a customer does do it consistently, does it make it a quicker job for you?
100%. The better quality the coat is in, the quicker I can get my job done.
Right. Okay.
The
So it's a good
worst
point.
quality, it's going to take twice as long because I've got to
Yeah.
get through mats, I've got to get through knots, I've got to make sure there's no lesions or wounds or anything on the skin that any mats have caused or anything like that. I mean, there's been a couple of times where I've come across a big chunk of mat and I've shaved it off and there's been an open wound underneath it. And that's, I mean, it's no one's fault really. I mean, the customer just hasn't seen it. The owner
Yeah.
just hasn't seen it because they're not brushing it.
Now, do you sell products as well? I know some of the franchisees have.
I don't at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't really get asked for it.
Right.
A lot of people, the only thing I really get asked for is recommendations on what type of de-shedding brush they could use. So yeah, I could have some in there, some in my trailer I could sell, but I don't get asked a lot for it.
So what brushes do you recommend for the de-shedding then?
So what I'm assuming what everyone uses, it's called a de-shedding rake. There are some out there that have just the straight things on them. I can't think of what they're called. Ours are curved. I prefer the curved mainly because it grabs as you run it through the coat, and it's not sharp, but it cuts through, so it gets through the mats and any knots a lot easier, and it gets rid of a lot more undercoat in one brush than it would normally if you're just using a straight one.
Now you said you like work
curved all the way.
Okay, there you go. So curve brush. Curve brush. Now you said that you liked big dogs. So what are your favorite types of breeds? You said Newfoundland is one of them.
Newfoundland all the way. I absolutely love them. They're just big, buffy dogs. They've just got these big heads. They drool everywhere, which most people hate, but I absolutely love it. Look, big German Shepherds I love. Just anything big and buffy and all these coats. And I know the hair. I know everyone hates the hair. I love it. I love the big dogs. Look, don't get me wrong. I like the little dogs. They're so cute. And you just want to smush them and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But I'm much more of a big dog person.
Now you're 8 months in. What are your plans for your business? 8 months in you're nearly at the first year milestone, which is fantastic. So what do you plan to do moving forward?
Look, I'm happy. I'm happy where I am sitting at the moment. I think I'm sitting in a really good spot with my business at the moment. At the moment, I don't do breed cuts like your whole top knots and all the rest. Eventually I will, mainly because I don't know how to do it. I'm not going to lie to someone and say I know how to do it and then get to their house and don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to waste anyone's time or money or my time or anything like doing that. So eventually I will get into extending my training in doing stuff like that. But in my area, it's not called for a lot. So it's not really a top priority of mine at the moment. As I said earlier, I take a lot of people out on trial days and stuff like that. I would like to move into the whole training aspect. I mean, the way I see it, I've been going for 8 months. I've been really successful and I like to see other people succeed. If I can take what I've learned and give it to somebody else and watch them succeed, that makes me happy. So that's where I'd like to move, but obviously keep my business running the way it is, get more regular clients. I mean, I haven't had to take a lead in a couple of months, so I'm running with regular customers enough to keep me going. And like I said, working 6 days solidly a week. So yeah.
That's fantastic. And first year in business is always the toughest, but you're obviously flying, and that's great how you said. So you want to keep your business going, but do more training, so more professional paid training for other people.
Yeah. So I mean, when it comes to how successful my business has been, I actually got really, really lucky. So when the virus and everything started and all the salons had to close down, I got a lot of new clients through that. They found the mobile a lot more convenient than having to go and take their dog and have to bring it back. And, you know, a lot of people swore by salons until they used mobile. A lot of people hadn't used the mobile service and now they wouldn't go back. Which kind of makes me a little sad because that means the salons have lost business, but on a purely selfish note, it was really good for me. So, and one of the other girls, she moved out of her area and she didn't want to come down to this area, her area, which is really close to mine anymore. And she just gave all her clients my number, and my phone didn't stop for 3 days. So I got a lot of her clients as well. So yeah.
And I was going to say that is a side effect, which obviously is not good for the salon owners, but for you guys, it's fantastic in regards to the mobile grooming business. Whereas people won't be able to go there for a while, I presume. So having you guys as the option, and maybe do you want to talk about a bit about the trailer as well? Like, it's a very schmick trailer that you guys have. You got the hot water, and maybe about the features of it.
I love my trailer. I'm obsessed with my trailer. I've been in some of the other companies' trailers. I don't know if I'm allowed to say any other business names, but I went into one of the Blue Wheelers trailers, and size-wise, ours is at least double. It was very, very hard to fit 2 people into one of their trailers, where ours you can easily fit 2 people and a dog in there. The bath is really big, and you've got the floor on the bath, but it actually comes up. So if you've got, say, if you're doing like a really tall dog, like a Great Dane or something like that, you can lift it up and they can just step in. They don't have to jump up or anything like that, which is really good. Yeah, we've got the hot water as well, which runs off gas. In the 8 months, I mean, I started in summer, so the first couple of months I didn't need to use the gas at all because the water heats up enough just by the sun sitting on it. But in the 8 months, I've only had to change my gas bottle twice, I think it is, which is good. So it doesn't use a whole heap of gas, and that's even me leaving it on for 2 days and not remembering that it's on.
It's a very comfortable work environment, isn't it? It's very comfortable.
It is, and you make it your own. I mean, I always say to the people I take out, find some sort of entertainment, because it can get very quiet in there. So, you know, I have my phone going, I've got my Bluetooth headphones going, and I just sort of zone out to whatever's going on outside. I have my little space that I have my job in front of me, and you just go into your own little grooming world. And I absolutely love it. You've got shelving there. You can fit literally everything you need in there. All your shampoos, all your colognes, all your clippers, your scissors, your towels, bin, everything in there. And like I said, you just make it your own. It's great.
No, they're fantastic trailers. I remember going for a walk through one of them at the factory a long time ago. Yeah, and me and the other guy found they fit in there quite easily. We're quite a bit bigger, so they're really good trailers as well. And it's comfortable for the dog, isn't it? People, you know, go to the salon maybe because it's maybe more comfortable, but it's just as comfortable in the trailer, isn't it?
It is 100%. Yeah. And you know, there's not many dogs that I have to actually lift up into the trailer anymore because they don't want to go in. You just open the door, let them in, and a lot of them will just run straight in. Because it's something new for them. Even if they've been in there 100 times, it's still something new. There's new smells. There's other dogs that they can smell in there, and they love it as much as what I do.
Fantastic. So we'll leave it there for today, Jen. Thanks for doing this. Appreciate it. And then we're going to obviously put it through with a couple of others and all that sort of stuff. But it's really good as well. And the advice as well, I think, is really good for people knowing to brush. They need to brush their dog, which will
just brush your dog.
Brush your dog before it comes as well. So thanks for doing that, Jen, as well. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you.